Analytical chemistry is already playing a huge role in the cannabis community. And as far as cannabis testing labs for quality control, we're seeing that as one of the fastest growing and most profitable also segments of the cannabis industry. Sometimes that gets overlooked when you think of cultivation and owning dispensaries, but testing is obviously such an important part of it. And we're really seeing a marriage of analytical professionals getting together with the community and really trying to advance technologies and standards and get things done. When you take contaminated cannabis and you put it through an extraction process, you could potentially not only be extracting cannabinoids to a more potent higher level, but if there is contamination present, you could potentially be extracting contamination to a higher level as well. So for especially the immunocompromised individuals, that could be very troubling. So I really feel that cannabis testing is so important, and that I feel every market that has this should absolutely be requiring it. And we're still trying to figure out the standardization of cannabis testing, and that's kind of an issue because we're seeing not everyone's using the same rule book, if you will. Different labs are using different instrumentation and different techniques to do their testing, and that can obviously cause variables in results. And we've seen issues where if you take a cannabis sample and send it to 5 different laboratories, you're likely to get 5 different results just because not everyone is on the same like I said, rule book. We really have been, at the core, an analytical science show that really caters to, the science behind cannabis and cannabis testing and everything with that. And, we have really played a role at bringing people together and helping to advance this industry and connecting, the genius cultivators with the genius analytical professionals and them networking and building collaborations. And at the core, we are an analytical science show, but we also do cater to the medical cannabis topics, like doctors and nurses that talk about different topics in cannabis, like pediatric care, geriatric care, routes of administration. We also have a cultivation science track that focuses on the science of cultivation and kind of everything with that. And then we recently, this year, for our 2020 shows, have rolled out a hemp and CBD track, because that is almost turning into its own industry, separate from cannabis, if you will. I mean, we're just excited to continue to work together with the industry and bridge the gaps between science and medicine and cannabis. I think events like Pittcon are so important because, I come to these events and I get to network with, more and more analytical professionals. And I touched on before, over the years of coming to Pittcon, it's gradually grown, but it's really exciting to, be in, 2020 and to see the interest that folks have now. And, instead of kind of folks hiding from me and, running away when I mention cannabis, we're having, people come up to the booth and they're so excited to chat with us about, what we're doing with the Cannabis Science Conference. So it's really been great seeing the evolution of that at Pittcon. And I think that, Pittcon is obviously a leader in analytical sciences and bringing people together. And we're just proud that Pittcon has tapped us year after year to help curate content with cannabis and education. And we're excited to continue to build in that relationship with Pittcon.